The session today we're going to talk about is sales productivity. Sales is moving from a challenger to a consultative sales model today. And sales operations plays a key role in this transition for salespeople. Questions to be asked to the group are, the first one is how do you get the right data from your salespeople and sales teams without impacting sales efficiency?
We don't. I think we impact their sales productivity to get that data in.
I think if you have a very clear sales process, the quid pro quo promise back is that they enter it once, and then we have to leverage that data in our different multiple systems, so we're not asking them to repeat and enter the same information over and over and over again.
There needs to be a get for every time they enter data, something that helps them move their deal forward and achieve their quota.
We talk about something we call activity-based enablement, and it's what you were describing and you're describing, where reps want to work in their calendar and their email and in LinkedIn and their social media. They don't want to work in Salesforce, right? So find ways to capture that data and automatically put it in Salesforce.
How do you strike the right balance of sales process versus rep autonomy and creativity? I think we all want our salespeople to be creative because their creativity is what oftentimes makes them successful.
Right.
I think the conversation has to start with what is our buyer's journey? How does that then correspond to those sales activities?
Getting the first line sales managers completely bought into it. Because they're having their weekly calls, they're having their one-on-ones and so forth, and if they're not bought into it and they're operating entirely differently, how can you ask the AM to do so?
The biggest carrot is visibility, right?
Absolutely.
For sales
What's in it
management.
for me, right? They're asking exactly what you
Hopefully,
described.
if they all buy into that, then it'll trickle down
But to be
the
fair
front
too, is
line.
that I absolutely agree with you. And to be fair, you got to also put on the body armor and go out there and say, okay, what do they hate about your tools and process,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And really
And
make
fix
some
it.
valid attempts to fix it.
And think about it from the perspective of the sales rep when you design the tools in the sales process, so that they feel like, okay, I want to get deal desk approval, and so I'm going to put in this information because there's something at the end of the process that's good for me.
One of the things I've been trying to work with the sales managers is we're going to save you time. No more death by PowerPoint or spreadsheet. You just log on, do the thing, make your life easier. I mean, that's kind of the carrot we're trying to drive.
Absolutely. As you guys described earlier, you have to answer the what's in it for me question. And if I get value back, then I will use the tool. And if not, it doesn't matter what carrots or sticks we got.
What are the most important metrics that you can use to measure to drive performance?
You've got a ton of reps that are trying to outperform and make themselves look better than they're really doing. So they're not committing it, but you go to look at the commit, you don't know if it's going to be a good month or a bad month.
The first point should be that data, that historical reference.
Yes.
Right, that's where you start.
Absolutely.
And then the rep can look at
It's
it and say,
fact-based. Yeah.
no, there's a compelling event. I happen to know that they have to start construction on this data center on August 1st, so it's going to close July 31st. Right. It's starting with that data first.
Our accuracy is not based on you calling a number, but calling the individual deals that you're going to close. And that has definitely allowed us to be more predictable in what's going to happen.